Hello!
Hi.
Welcome back to an episode of We Watched a Thing. The thing we watched this week, Between, Season 2, Episode 3.
Yeah, we're continuing the journey here in the second season of the greatest show on the internet.
It's like you're in line to get yourself neutered. You don't want to be in line. There's like 6 people in front of you, but it still feels like it's going like super fast, and you're like, oh god, I want to. And that's like my life leading up to these minutes before Between starts, and I'm
All
like,
right, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure where you were going with that, and I began to have some heart palpitations, and they distracted me. Are you saying like, yay, the line's moving fast? Wait, no, neutering. Is that the emotional?
I'm saying life goes by so fast because we cover one of these once a week, and it's kind of like when you're in school, time goes slow, but the weekend goes fast. My whole life speeds by. And then Between comes on, and
right.
and a screeching halt, and I'm like, Christ, what is this shit?
Having to watch Between is like having to read To Kill a Mockingbird the day before summer vacation ends, because there's going to be that test when you come back, and you were supposed to, summer reading, you're supposed to read this. Fuck. I didn't read To Kill a Mockingbird. TLDR, saw the movie.
I didn't.
And still got a B.
So I watched this episode 3, yesterday night, which was really this morning at like 4 in the morning or so.
All right. So you have you still remember everything that happened.
I remember nothing. This show is so forgettably bad. Nothing is retained. How does it start?
Well, it starts with 539 survivors.
I did take note of that. I remember you were asking about that last time.
Because something, I don't know. We refuse to fact check or go back to season 1 for any purposes. But yeah, it's like the numbers were all like, wait, what? 1,000 what? 8,000?
There were flashbacks.
What?
I'm gonna go out of order because things are in my head now. Yeah. There were flashbacks to season 1 or 2. This is 2. Season 1, I guess.
This is 2.
And with that prison guard and I'm like, I don't even remember this person.
No?
No, I remember
the person.
I remember like a prison guard. I don't remember them ever explicitly stating she was over 21.
I was going to ask you that later.
And I was like, she was over 21? I remember saying every character in this show is over 21 and they should all be dead. But they came out and said it. I'm like, I don't remember them actually saying it. I think it might be how you didn't know the brother was dead. And I'm like, I didn't know she was over 21. No, but you didn't know either. So
I was going to ask you because I didn't remember if in season 1 they ever acknowledged. Because we were like, "There's no way that bitch is supposed to be, or that actress, or," and then we joked like, "Well, the actress is probably like 23, and we're being very rude or something." But there's no way she's fucking old as fuck. But yeah, apparently it's actually maybe it's a retcon, but it's a plot point that she was too old or whatever. Okay, so
the secret to a bad show is though have things where it makes me question if they even happened in the first place, and they're bad anyway, so I don't care that much.
I agree. It's day 53 here. Just keep that in mind if ever anything we say seems like it should be in like a post-apocalyptic show that takes place years and years after some horrible event. We are in the town of Pretty Lake.
The town of Pretty Lake that we've been saying all along has everything. On top of this, it has like a survivalist colony?
Yeah.
The fuck? That no one ever knew? What?
So
there's like 100 people in there.
So let's even fuck this. What I did was I would start one of these little bullets here.
All right.
For each like plot line. So and then I had to fuck it up later. But I just left a bunch of space in between each one
to add more bullshit.
Because I can't type while I'm taking notes for some reason. I don't know what's going on here. But anyway,
it's so bad. It's probably the show taking over your brain.
No, but we can skip around. Perfect. So yeah. The black girl that seduced our druggie. Her name is Renee. His name is Ronnie. I'm learning the names.
Renee, queen of the disenfranchised people.
So like queen of the hand, because that's their like symbol, and like
because the foot was taken by Ninja Turtles.
I wrote like, is this a cult? And then later they like drag him into her like ornate like bed chamber where she just like fucks him again. And I'm like, this is a cult and all that shit, and everyone's acting all weird.
His job
and
other people's job in the metal shop is to like strip cars. Was that a job before the apocalypse? Like, it seems like it's just a car stripping organization.
So again, let's say 52 and a half days ago, this was not a part of what they did, right? The guy who apparently Ronnie's replacing literally says, oh, don't be discouraged. They had me doing this when I first got here a few years ago. And I'm like, what?
So they've been doing exactly. They've
What
been
are you
doing
doing?
it forever. They've been stealing cars and taking the tires, and like I understand. I'm a person who believes in hoarding. If one thing I
Okay.
have, I get a new one. I keep the old one in case I could one day ever need that one. And I can understand having a mass supply of tires because you can't ever get more tires because. Well, this store probably has an AutoZone, a junkyard, and like 6 other things I could buy tires from. But if ever those just happen to all lose, you'd want to have every tire in the world. Like, so I can understand it, but it also is so dumb that my mind won't allow it.
And I'm so glad you're focusing on this because you may have also, may have slipped your mind. A pivotal part of the first season was about a man who owned a car dealership or something. Right?
Yes.
Who was clearly capable of murder. And we're being told that, so you would have thought that they would have had run-ins over this situation, running a chop shop right over in the same town. You would have thought something.
Well, they don't shit where they eat, Lee. That just makes sense.
I don't know what's going on.
And it's not the next town. It's in the same town. Everything is in Pretty Lake.
The town is so big.
It doesn't even make sense. I thought this place was closed down. He knew it was there. You'd think you'd see 100 people walking in and out all the time.
My first note is Ronnie and Dead Kid drive drive over. We are introduced to new set, and I underlined it because there's a new set in town.
The show is so bad. It's so bad.
Well, let's unpack that for a minute there. So he shows up. They pull out their guns, and it starts to feel like Walking Dead.
Where did they get these guns?
They have like assault rifles. They're like hands on the ground. And he chooses again to get beat up before he says, listen, I didn't... Like, the first thing you would have said, I didn't kill him. I found him. Here's where I found him. I had a picture. She had me looking for him. I'm just here to do the thing I said I'd do. We fucked, by the way, Peaches. You would have just explained the whole thing. They have a gun on you.
This is the moment in like, the script where it says, like, like Ronnie shows how badass he is. But it doesn't play at all. He seems like a chump. The lines come out, like, really half-cocked. He's not a good actor, and he's given bad lines. Now, either one of these things could severely hurt a character. But when you have them combined, bad lines and bad acting, you just look like a fuck.
I like Ronnie, but I wrote down fake drama on here. What was it? Show him around the metal shop? No, what was the other thing?
Oh, God. And, like, they're growing plants in, like everything about it, I was like, all right, that's, like, the tiniest, it's like a cup with a light on it. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, and some of this butts into, like, the low-budget cinema thing where we say, like, I am a fan of that, but there's a certain point where it's like an insult, and it just,
It's only insulting.
I think that we're upset, because I think, given, like, the same budget and resources, we could have been like, well, don't do that, do this, and, like, made a better, like, thing.
No,
and it, like, gets to us or whatever.
And I don't...
Because I feel you.
I remember we at one time tried to find out what the budget for the show was, but I don't think it was a good enough show to actually reveal said things. But, like, this is the kind of show where I'd be like, okay, don't get a star from a Disney show. Don't do anything that costs you any money more than you need to. Okay, let's put 3 helicopters in this scene that requires no helicopters, but we'll make the hideout look dumb as shit. You could just put a door that says greenhouse on it and never show the inside, and I would infer that they have a greenhouse because I can read, and you're a moron.
Right. I agree.
Less is more when you can't deliver more.
Speaking of bad actors and Disney stars, what is that chick's real name? Wiley?
Disney McDisney star?
Oh, we're so old. I don't know.
Sam from fucking
iCarly?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never watched iCarly because I'm an adult man or whatever, but she's a really bad actress.
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of trouble with her because
she's like a side mouth talker. Like,
yeah, her face is not doing things that you're supposed to do when things happen with, like, your baby. And,
like let's just say, for, like, I'll pull some straws out. Well, how about you have, like, a problem, maybe a tumor or something in an intestine or in some sort of organ that you need.
Okay, it's a stretch, but yeah.
And it's causing you to, like, pass out occasionally, crippling pain, mind you.
Gotcha.
You'd probably walk your newborn child around.
Yeah.
Especially alone.
100%.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's normal.
Not the slightest downside there. But then when you wake up from what I can only assume is a mild coma at that point, given your condition, you would immediately grab your kids, stand up, and begin, like, walking, and go like, I have to go. And
a physician and your friends wouldn't stop you.
All of the men around you that have various interests would just let you go. So you could have your own adventure,
like,
in a different scene.
If you're her physician, her son is your brother, or maybe you love this girl, you just let her go.
I mean, those are like fake motivations that would never really happen, but
The
yes.
idea of the three of those all coming into
Those-
a problem such as this, very, very
The Venn diagram for those three things to happen in the same room is fucking insane.
happens to one person in the world.
And the physician would not only care about her survival to keep up appearance and like not be shot, but it would also be like the only person he has successfully injected with whatever the fuck the serum is supposed to do that he desperately needs to be the thing that he's for his nefarious plot.
Once again, let me sidebar, Your Honor. Did that somehow cure her disease too? It shrunk her tumor? Is that what he said?
He said that. He said, what was it? Like this, your condition may have been the greatest thing that could happen to us. And she was like, I don't think so. And then he was like, he was like, no, the serum bonded with your cells and fought, to fight the sickness or the virus, and it also fought your tumor. And I'm not a doctor. I watched most of House and all of Dexter. Those are my qualifications. Chicago Hope, a little ER, those types of things. I kind of know what cancer is. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
If a small child would hear your theory and go, "That sounds fake," don't do it.
It sounds fake, but also, right, isn't cancer like your own body producing things and the fighting of it being, like, how would it...
I don't care if you have a cure. It would not be reduced in size in 4 hours.
Right. Like, it would have left a hole how fast it shrunk.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, but like the show's bad, so moving on.
There's a certain point where you have to just say, okay, but I guess that's what happened.
As long as like it's like The Simpsons explain it as the Three Stooges disease. Are you familiar?
No.
You have every disease possible in equilibrium, and they're all struggling to get to the door. But because they're all trying to go at the same time, they stop. I'm invincible.
Did Homer end up with that?
No, it was Mr. Burns.
So I'm invincible.
Like, I have everything. Hysterical pregnancy? Yes. Juvenile diabetes? A little bit. Like, he had everything. And this is what this show is. It is every plot hole, vice, shitty way of doing things all at once. And because they're all so bad, the show is shit. It doesn't make it better.
I was going to say, what are you getting at? It's crazy.
It's kind of like the other thing, only that it's not.
Well, it's the other thing, but what would happen in real life, which is just
where if you had every disease,
cascading
you would die.
Systemic failures from your immune system outward. So Wiley goes on this adventure. She takes her baby. She leaves.
No gas.
To allow the men to have their own plot, but she leaves with her kid. I guess she goes to the orphanage first, and then Gord tells her to go to the Amish people, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep saying Amish.
I don't remember them Mennonites. I don't remember them ever saying that Mennonite had a kid and she was gonna have a baby soon or had a baby. And even if she did, how long ago was that she still has milk? Without, because she's certainly not pumping. What is she not like? I want to stay in my breast milk, so I keep pumping the milk. That's not happening in a Mennonite village.
Well, they found the kid when they went to bury the baby, right? Is that what they said?
What? Did that happen? Did I miss that?
Yeah, they found the stabbed kid in the field because they went out to bury or burn the baby that had died.
Okay, then I missed that one entirely.
No, I'm only doing that math now. I had the same reaction as you of like, okay, fine, whatever. She has milk. That's whatever. Because
also a huge weird show to be like, yeah, baby, I was hungry, so I just hopped onto my teat. That's a weird leap that maybe Mennonites don't make, but I would.
Well, so like the script says you do that. And
yes,
that's part of like, once Wiley wakes up, she says, "Hey, someone told me you just lost your kid, and I thought you could help." In quotes, and that's what that would mean.
No, of course, but without saying it, it's weird to just impose your milk.
That's what I'm saying. While she's passed out, she can't explain that. So why would you then start that so that when she wakes up, you're doing it and be in the same room in case she freaks out? That's very crazy.
No, the whole thing was really strange.
But yeah,
that's what this show is. Everything is coincidence and bad.
There was some good, like, leave the child with us. We'll raise him. He'll become one of us, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like the baby's being written off the show. I guess
it was too expensive to have a baby on set.
To permanently become one of the Mennonites. Fine, whatever. His beard is hilarious. The
whole show.
The young
hilarious.
Amish guy's beard is like is my life.
This is God's will.
The gas tank on empty graphic I liked a lot.
The show is pretty good with text and graphics
I don't know
and stuff
who's
like
doing
that.
their floating shit, but I like it a lot. That's the one thing where I'm like, hey, I like
that.
that.
I will agree. The show has
shit.
that. A show that was similar to this was Fringe. Did you ever watch Fringe?
I saw a few episodes of Fringe.
They had
but
some
it
good
kinda fell
floating
off.
graphics and stuff like that as well.
That might be enough to make me go back to Fringe.
I'm here for you.
Because I like Pacey anyway.
I will also say Fringe is actually a good show, and if
Yeah.
we're devoting an hour a week to watch this crap, you can certainly watch something good.
Well, I'm already an hour in the hole, so I can't.
True.
I have to reclaim the hour.
All right, so I like your theory. We should stop watching between and we start watching
Can't
Fringe.
stop now. We're already halfway through. This is the home stretch. It's all downhill from here. Oh. So Wiley's gone and done all that. She'll eventually come back, but before she does, the men's have their own thing. Art Carey comes back up.
Yes.
And that's where those flashbacks that you mentioned earlier come in.
Flashback.
Because he says, what do you know about Art Carey? And that causes Adam to have flashbacks to, I guess, a few weeks earlier when the prison guard was like, what do you know about Art Carey? And he goes, oh, they must both be bad guys because they both asked the same question when I said a name. And that causes them to handcuff him up to a thing in like the hospital or whatever, and then go to investigate in that, I forget what the building was.
It's
the
a
cops
prison.
Building? That's at the prison.
That's at the prison.
Gotcha.
Now,
makes sense, of course.
Through their breaking and finding and this and that, the various dead bodies, because that wasn't cleared out, they find that this person. They get you try to use their access code to get into the computer. They need her hand.
Yep. Yep.
Everywhere, all of a sudden, there's hand reading things, which they've been in the prison before. They weren't there before. Whatever. It also seems such a weird thing. And after 52 days, or at least 30 days, you'd think your hand would be not as fingerprint and intuitive.
They gave
and
her
it's like it's a nubbed claw like this, and you're just like, all right, that's perfect.
And it goes, I'm copying your hand. No, that was pretty. And then he does it like through the plastic later. The first time he did it, I was like, don't do it through the plastic. Don't do it through the plastic. Okay, good. He took it out. At least that makes sense or something like that. They cut off the dead the female prison guard's hand. She was the one who let the convict out / got killed. Like the whole plot with her in the beginning, and she was obviously old. We talked about her and all that stuff. They gave her like bumpy skin.
Yeah, she had like the plague all of a sudden.
Which, like, the whole thing with her is that she's one of the few people who's not infected with the thing.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And I don't know if the
really
thing is supposed to give you bumps or what's
Something
happening.
I couldn't remember. I was trying to struggle for. So there were two prisoners, right? Did she let them both go?
The other guy got killed.
How did he die? I was trying to think that. I couldn't remember.
Ooh, did our convict buddy kill that guy in like a fight?
Inconsequential.
I think she kills him, and then goes to kill our main character convict. But then like something happens, right? Something happens.
Regardless, I don't want to bring up any more of this show than I have to.
Well, so Chuck and Adam get in a fight. The other guy's handcuffed back, at the thing. Chuck's like, "Fuck this," leaves. That's when Adam finds some evidence of a fucking. What does he find? He finds that the guy that they handcuffed back at the thing, Liam, was the chief of pharmacology or something, right? Was that in the contacts? That looked like a web page somehow. This weird cell phone with like a weird antenna. It's like military grade.
I'm fairly certain he was in the contacts of that phone too.
He was definitely.
Yeah. So.
That's where Adam got his full name, and then he Googled him maybe, and it said head of pharmacology for something. But I don't know what that meant. That he was a liar.
Means
nothing. I think I missed something, but it's probably their fault for making me miss it or something like that.
Just in general, and then Wiley gets back, let him go. Okay.
Yeah, and Chuck's like, hey, you know what? Fine. Which is I guess you could react that way. I mean, no, no one would. First of all, if she was like, you handcuffed him, and then you would be like, yes, and here is why. You wouldn't just be like, and then let her ask you for the keys. I'd be like, bitch. You still have something of a tumor. I'm not going to give you these keys.
I thought you were going to be rude on that one. Like, bitch, you still have some of my dad in you.
Oh, right. That was my brother. He wants to go get the kid from the
Mennonites,
from the folks. I don't know why he wants to do that. I guess I know why.
He's my brother.
I know, but
because if he takes him, he has no way of feeding him. It's perfect.
No, that's what I mean. That's pretty clear. And honestly, if your plan is to get out of this and to have everybody be cured and be fine, You just go get him then, right?
Yeah, get him at the end.
He might be 3 if things like take a long time. And you'd be like, hi. And take him. I don't know.
I would. The one thing I would have asked though for the Mennonites, how old are all of you? Because I want to know that it's not a certain point where like, okay, my son is now dead because all his caregivers died.
Yeah, and I don't know what the trade.
That girl, the one that was breastfeeding him, looks like she's 32.
50. Yeah, no.
I know that she's a
Easily.
Mennonite, so she's probably had a hard life, but
Yeah.
oh god. What else is on this list? Because I have one in my head that I don't want to jump too far to.
Is it later on in the episode,
Of course
or
it
just
is.
so fucking good? Well, to keep with that plot line, I just had a little plot hole that I jotted down.
Sure, what do you got?
How long was Liam handcuffed up there, you think?
I don't know. Forever?
So how often does he have to inject himself?
Once a day at the same time.
Once a day?
I thought so.
Oh, I thought it was once every so many hours, but I forgot how many. I
thought it was like every day at 7 or something.
Oh, okay.
But he was handcuffed rather tall. He wasn't able to sit from the position he was in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he was there at least 8 hours.
Right? I thought he was there for a long time.
His hand should be like destroyed.
Yeah, and my first thought was like, fuck. Like, and like, if you were to handcuff me and I was in a place where if I caught something and didn't inject I would be like, wait! Just leave my shit nearby, and that would have been a whole subplot of like, well, we know there's like a device in there, you know, it would have been a whole interesting thing.
Yeah.
But like, that would have been my first reaction is like, holy shit, I need those injections though. Fine, listen, handcuff me up, lock me away somewhere, just leave me with that, otherwise I'll die. This is serious, all right? I will let you go investigate whatever you want, but fucking, I could die. Like that would be like my main like thing.
I would have just shot him.
Who?
All of them.
If you were also there, or who are you in this, and who are you shooting?
I could be anyone in that world, and I would subconsciously know
Just
to get to this
spin and
town and
shoot.
just shoot wildly.
I like it.
The love interest between Johnny McDead's sister and
Yeah, so that's
OJ's
cool.
sister.
Well, that's like, you know, like the main thing that we're building up to at some point in the near future. The main quick thing, the convict wants to go confess about the stabbing of the
Yeah,
kid
that's
that he
just
didn't stab.
Stupid nonsense drama.
Yeah, they lock him up, or you know, the old owner of
I
the
love
bar
that she's
chick.
like she threatens to kill him if he's gonna tell.
I
It's
know.
like, what is that? You like me or whatever and don't want me to die from telling them, so you'll kill me to avoid me
Right.
from telling them? Yeah, your bluff is brilliant.
He's like, we don't want any trouble or problems here. Like, what? So she locks him up. It reminded me of like The Shining, when he's locked in like the thing and she's outside talking to him and stuff like that.
Only The Shining was good. I just want to make that point, distinguish it.
I mean, at this point, we're just belaboring the horribleness.
One of my biggest issues, and there's a lot of issues to this show, was just how many physical activities the young kids were doing on the bowling alley.
Oh,
Have
good.
you ever
Okay.
walked on the alley itself of a bowling alley?
I have not, because I'm scared. It seems like it's against the
It's
rules, and I
slippery
always follow the
as
rules.
fuck. It is.
Oh.
It is super waxed so that the ball slides nicely across it. Because like, think about when you slide that ball. It's like sliding frictionless. Sometimes it's sliding like on one end, not even spinning.
I like that a lot.
Like that's because it's super waxed. He's skateboarding on it. He's running on it. He's biking on it. He like carries her for a moment on it. Like
They like race. They were doing like they were doing shuttle runs on it. That's interesting.
that would have been Broken Jaw City.
Nice.
Like, Fung dead.
Maybe the virus destroyed the wax on
I
the-
assume
on
they
the
were
pool.
going to say that, but they didn't. They left me to infer it.
Well, I think that's a reasonable leap for your audience to make. We're talking, of course, about young Franny shows up. Young Harrison is there. Harrison?
Fanny, as you call her, and
Franny.
T in Fight Club, as I call him.
Franny and the head and the King of the Lost Boys. He goes there, has an actual thing where he's bowling, kind of, and remembering his
Remembers a
dead
party he
sister and like
had.
the stuff, and he was like, oh, and that stuff. That's one of the few things on this show that I actually went like, oh, like they're doing a thing.
I thought it was
That's
done so
fun.
poorly, though. Something
Yeah.
about it, like I was like, oh yeah, all right. This is,
I
and then
think,
like he like breaks down and cries at a moment, and I'm like, I hate everything about.
Oh,
this
he
kid's
cries
character.
way at the end. I hate.
Yeah, yeah.
But I liked him in that memory moment or whatever. Just in that little, but
Something about how it was filmed, like took me completely out of it. Like, because it was like full like look backs and this and that. It wasn't like just cut from behind him and show them behind him like type of things that I would have preferred a little more. Like that's
well,
arguing little bits, but
it
just,
could have been a million times better. But as far as like which parts of the iceberg are actually poking out of the water, where I'm like, oh, there you go. Like that was a little thing. So you see people taking pictures of Franny.
Well, yeah, she said, send your eyes into town or whatever, and you have them following.
So the reveal towards the end is that the person taking pictures of Franny was one of Renee's henchmen.
Of course.
We didn't mention this earlier, Renee is like the head of the
hand?
Of the hand now. She's not just a high-ranking member. She inherited the
the commune
command
from
position of all that stuff. Yeah. No, but we see Renee taking pictures of Franny from someone and all that business.
So now that she knows who killed her brother because they're wearing her backpack, they are sent on a mission to retrieve this person.
Yeah.
But good old OJ is not going to let that happen.
Yeah. So actually, Gord, OJ Simpson, aka, is helping the kids all plant things in the orphanage.
Yeah, he's teaching them how to plant, almost exactly how our refugee people are planting.
Yeah.
One plant at a time in one bucket, but they're using natural light and not using weird fluorescence.
Yeah, no, they're not hydroponic and shit. But he's leading the thing and stuff's happening. There's some feel-good moments, so you think maybe something might even, bad might even happen. And he reunites with Franny. Harrison kind of sort of symbolically leaves the Lost Boys and shows up.
He gives Harrison some food.
Yeah, he's
come full circle.
Buddy.
It's all happy, happy, happy.
He's forgiven everyone that he could possibly.
They come to kidnap his sister.
Right, so he's outside, and they literally do the "I'll be right." Like he says, "Oh yeah, let's." He says to Franny, "Do you want to come back home?" And she's like, "I'd like that very much." And he goes, "All right, I'll be right back. I just have to grab something." And turns around, and then around the corner comes.
So there's a couple of dudes and our lead hand, civil rights activist, whatever her name is.
Renee.
And she's kidnapping Franny.
Gord
jumps in. There's that cliche fight for the gun, pop, pop. They all run away. Look down. Gord's been shot twice, and I hope he dies.
I was just gonna say, so Gord.
I hope he dies.
Gord not only has someone been shot before and survived and been fine. It was Gord.
Yeah.
And if I think about it now, it's only been 53 days since that even happened. Even if it happened on day one, and he's totally fine. He's been running around and fighting and doing things. But this time he was shot twice, and right in center mass.
Gut shot twice.
So I feel like he's probably dead now.
But thank God they have a doctor who can cure everything. Oh my God!
He gets
give him the vaccine. The vaccine will cure the whole thing.
The vaccine. The bullets will go and pop out of his chest because of the vaccine.
But so here's something.
The vaccine can miraculously what?
You can fake the X-rays. We don't know that she's actually being cured in any way. We just know he said that.
Right.
The bullet holes actually sealing up would actually know something, that this virus actually can do something.
Does this virus create super people? Is this like a prequel to the 4400 or something like that?
No.
What is going on?
This is Mr. Glass from Unbreakable. He's trying to make superheroes by releasing a virus this time.
Oh, I'm picking only the strongest.
Makes sense.
I could see something like that.
No, this is the worst, nightmarish, horrible piece of shit ever.
The only way that I can make it through this is hoping that they will reveal a mastermind, crazy plot it'll make no sense. It'll be bad. I know that, but I want there to be something, some reason for this all to happen.
You'll see some German scientist that will look kind of like Dr. Evil. That's my prediction. A scar on the face.
Yes.
Some disfigurement, maybe a limp.
In the town?
No, he's gonna come in on a helicopter.
Okay.
3 helicopters. All right.
We'll assemble him there.
This show's horrible garbage. It ended in a way that makes me want a character to die. We're going to hope he dies by next time.
No, I am sure they're going to,
Oh, he won't. I just want him dead.
I know, but next episode will literally open with, help, can someone help him? And it'll be injection. But for some reason, should we do it or not? And they'll fight a little, not physically, but they'll yell. And it's why wouldn't you? He's obviously dead, and they'll inject him. And then this whole theme.
He'll stop breathing. Then they'll inject him, and then he'll cough, and he'll come back to life.
He'll do the gasp back to life. That has to be it, because otherwise, not only faking the tumor being smaller would have been smart or something like that. I feel like it really is smaller because she feels better.
Yeah.
And
placebos though are a powerful thing.
I think she felt better before, because he never said, "Well, this will cure your tumor" or something like that.
No.
It was just this will stop the.
Yeah. All right, so that was episode 3, season 2. Between our recap, review, whatever, this show sucks. And we'll see you again next week. Until then, do you want Gord dead? Put that in the description. Description? Not the description, the comments. You're an idiot, Lee.
What?
Goodbye.